Hello everybody! You may have noticed that I have been making a few videos about the coronavirus, and that is not stopping a day. Today we are taking a look at the untold tragedy of the corona pandemic, the death of relationships. A little bit dramatic, but there you go. As an avid reader of our relationships, I have seen quite a few relationship issues and breakups arise over the course of the outbreak. Let's take a look at some of these corona-related posts and see what we can deduce from them. Our first post comes from a lady who actually caught the coronavirus. I'm going to read out the important parts and cut out some of the filler. It has been 9 weeks since I first started experiencing COVID symptoms, and while they were fairly mild compared to others, I'm still not 100%, and the longer it goes on, the less sure I am that I ever will be. I get breathless on and off and have fairly frequent bouts of malaise. Ooh, fancy words. I've only just started to keep up with work and spend most of my day in bed. I would say I'm a fairly emotional person and tend to rely on my boyfriend of 2 years for support for most things. He has always done a great job of being the loving, supportive SO while dealing with his own stuff. However, the longer I am in this state, the more I seem to expect from him. For example, I have a small group of friends who have now started meeting with masks and social distancing. I feel reliant on my SO to take me to these, due to not being able to drive, and also this needs to be someone I can rely on with me. She expects him to stay and hang out with her friends. I'm struggling with the why I feel the need for him to be there, even aside from the transport issue. I hadn't been out of the house for 4 months, and then I got sick, so I suppose that could be it. Additionally, I get angry/frustrated at my SO a lot, or rather project it onto him. He doesn't always know the right thing to say in support, and my own feelings of being a burden may be projecting onto some of our conversations where I set myself up to feel like he isn't being as understanding or supportive as he could be. I feel like this whole other person these days. Part of me feels like I rely on him a little too much. The other part of me is scared of resenting him for not achieving some ideal level of understanding and support. So this woman has been through something that is quite a big unknown. We don't know what the future holds for survivors of the coronavirus. A lot of people will be just fine, but more and more research is showing that there can be long-lasting issues with breathing and fatigue. It's sad that she has to live with the uncertainty of her future health, and therefore I think it's quite good that she's getting back to normal, visiting friends in a safe manner, talking to her partner, and getting back to work. With that being said, from the very start she says that she has lent on her partner a lot for emotional support during the course of their 2-year relationship. And now she expects even more support. She expects the right words to be said, the right level of comforting and commitment to activities that she wants to participate in. It's understandable that she would need a bit more TLC having been sick and still suffering from the illness, but she states that she gets angry and frustrated at her SO a lot. He's already driving her to her friends, spending time with them, showing love through acts of service, and yet she is still frustrated. What I see is someone with an anxious attachment style who is clinging ever more tightly due to an increased anxiety from the pandemic. The only person who can make this relationship better is herself. She needs to wind back the amount of support from her boyfriend and start getting some of her needs met by her friends and other support people around her. If she needs verbal comforting, call a friend. If she needs to hang out, pick somewhere within walking distance or get dropped off by her boyfriend, but don't make him stay. If he isn't drained by now, he very well might be soon, especially if his time and effort is met with anger and frustration. The answer here is simple. Give him a day off from being your support person. Our second relationship post is a platonic relationship, and as we all know, platonic relationships are still valid relationships. Here we go! My friend is 29 and I'm 28. We've been friends for 5 years and I consider her one of my closest friends. But as horrible as it sounds, her spending and working habits are making it difficult to be a genuine friend to her. She has always had spending problems. She confided in me that she has 5 figures of credit card debt and she is living paycheck to paycheck. I honestly do not judge her at all at that point. But once COVID hit, she acted like it was summer vacation, and I noticed she was constantly blowing off work. In the back of my mind, I was concerned for her job security, because during an economic crisis, you would think keeping your job would be a very high priority. But not her. She would send me snaps every day of herself doing all sorts of non-work activities during working hours, and it was confusing me. Day trips to the beach, going to Costco, working out, etc. Sure enough, she was laid off a few weeks later. She didn't start looking for a job for a few months, and once she did, she turned down some job offers because unemployment paid better. She finally accepted a job, and today was her first day at work. It's a 9-to-5 job working from home temporarily. She has sent me a snap at 2 p.m. at a car dealership. She's looking to buy a $26,000 car. I feel like she is expecting me to be happy for her, but in my head, I'm like, WTF are you doing? It's her first day at her new job and she is already blowing it off to buy a really fancy car that she certainly can't afford. I don't know how to handle this anymore. Should I just let her learn the lesson the hard way? How can I be a good friend in this situation? Okay, so first off, it isn't this lady's job to be her friend's life coach and set her on the right path. She shouldn't feel responsible, and whatever the friend does, she shouldn't let that affect her. However, being a really good friend sometimes involves having difficult conversations with your friends. The woman who wrote this has made it clear in the post that every concern she has, she keeps to herself. There is no mention about her saying anything to her friend about her concerns. I think that it would be worth it for OP to sit her friend down and say that she is worried about her financial future and ask permission to give her friend some advice about work and money. There is a big chance that this won't be accepted, which is fine. If anything, OP will probably stop receiving snaps of her friend's shopping sprees. The friendship might even end altogether, but it seems like a very facade-based friendship. One friend pretends to have it all and the other friend pretends to be happy for her. It doesn't seem like a very fulfilling friendship to me, so from my point of view, if it doesn't get better, then it might as well end. Corona has shown us that life is too short to not go beyond the surface. Challenge your friend to go deeper, because like the post said, we are in a financial crisis. We don't have time to play these fake money games. Well, that's enough COVID craziness for now. I think we've seen quite polar opposite problems here, but it really shows what things the coronavirus has brought up in recent times. Everyone is really reevaluating their relationships, and as always, Jazzy is here to help. Alrighty then, please write your own opinions in the comments down below so we can have a nice little fight about it. Subscribe for more corona relationship stuff, etc. and leave a like if you fancy me. Until next time, hey door!